Hi, my name is Nikita Polishchuk, financial analyst at PHC Advisory Tax Accounting, part of DP Group. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the following topic: Russian real estate market, overview and opportunities. Let me begin by introducing our company DP Group. Under the DP Group umbrella, we have four companies: Untitled Partners Legal Counsel, PHC Advisory Tax Accounting, Eastern Communication and Events, and Chance & Better Education. First, the Untitled Partners Legal Counsel is our international law firm, which is composed of professionals from different countries around the world, which enables to assist our clients in the best and the fastest possible way in different languages. The firm's operational headquarters is located in Shanghai, but it has also a number of branches around Asia and Europe, as well as the Russian desk. The firm's clients include large industrial groups, as well as medium-sized Italian, Chinese, and global enterprises. Some of the practice areas of DP Legal Counsel include corporate and commercial law, M&A, legal compliance, labor law, IPR, and so on. We have also received numerous legal awards, of which we are especially proud of. PHC Advisory Tax Accounting is an international consulting firm which specializes in accounting, taxation, and finance. Essentially, we provide such services to our clients that include the supporting of back office activities, such as bookkeeping, tax compliance, treasury, payroll management. We also assist clients with conducting financial supervision or internal audits. Furthermore, we support clients on their other activities, such as M&A, relocation, liquidation, and also negotiation with local authorities. And finally, we will provide business consulting on both personal and corporate levels. The third company of our group, Eastern Communication and Events, is an international agency focusing on social media management, digital marketing, PR, and events planning. And finally, Chance & Better Education provides such services as short-term visit and senior courses, short-term internship and business visit, as well as language training and online education. At DP Group, we frequently publish practical guides on doing business in China. These guides can be found in multiple languages, such as English, Italian, Chinese, and Russian, in both printed and ebook formats. Likewise, we are also very active in publishing guides on doing business in other jurisdictions, and these guides similarly can be found in both printed and ebook versions accordingly. This slide shows some of our clients from various industries that we have successfully assisted in the past and continue to successfully help currently. This slide shows some of the university affiliations. At DP Group, we are actively cooperating with multiple universities around the world to promote the better education. And finally, these are the addresses of our offices worldwide. And now let's move to the topic of today's video, which is the Russian real estate market overview and opportunities. First, of course, let me introduce the agenda, what we're going to talk about today. I will briefly introduce the Russian real estate market, essentially a very short history of it, but nevertheless very, very interesting and worth knowing about. Then we will classify the real estate market in Russia, in particular in Moscow, into different categories. And I will talk about the recent trends and how, what kind of transformational changes have happened over the years. And finally, we consider a few special points, and I will provide some of the conclusion and the future developments of this industry. So first, the Russian real estate market, and particularly that one of Moscow, represents one of the fastest growing real estate segments in Europe in the past, let's say, 20 years. Having been severely influenced in the last decade by a mix of economic, political, demographic, and other relevant factors, it has now been recovering and providing opportunities to both domestic and foreign investors who consider adding a direct real estate holding to their investment portfolios. This presentation essentially showcases a general overview of the history of the real estate market in Russia, and looks for the opportunities that could be of interest to prospective buyers. Let me start with the history of the Russian real estate market. The history of the development of the real estate market in Russia can be split into several major stages. This is very general, but let's have a look. First is the inception stage. At the inception, the real estate market development in Russia, of course, let's date it back to the collapse of the Soviet Union and establishment of modern Russia as we know it, and of course the subsequent beginning of privatization in 1992. The market at that time was characterized by inadequate valuation methods, over demand, and of course the absence of any adequate service providers which would support the industry. Second, moving on to transitioning stage, I would say from 1993 to 1998. The market developed rapidly from 1993 until 1998, when the Russian financial crisis took place. Of course, as we know, the Russian government defaulted on its debt, and the national currency, the ruble, was devalued. The crisis led to the halt in demand and a temporary freeze of the real estate market, although it actually withstood the crisis better than some other segments of the economy. And the third one, the maturing stage, is a very large period, but let's talk about this. From 2014, actually, you can see the graph on the right of the slide, which shows the nominal and real growth of housing prices in Russia. So starting from the early 2000s, the market developed rapidly, but also it matured, with new professional service providers, also improved legislation to protect the property rights of individuals, and new market rules, but as well as the rise of consumers' income and the sophistication of their tastes accordingly. At that time, Moscow and St. Petersburg, the two largest cities in Russia, basically became the target for long-term real estate investors. Fourth, I would say a major decline, which in fact, if you look on the graph on the right, you don't see such a sharp drop in prices compared to 2011, but nevertheless, this period of decline has been significant. Until 2014, the Russian real estate market had been trending upwards with periods of downward pressure from the global economy. But the Russian financial crisis of 2014 to 2016 seriously affected the market structure. With the weakening currency, sanctions, political risks, and poor economy, essentially investor sentiment was at the all-time low, and a massive investment outflow from real estate took place. Of course, the demand halted and prices dropped. And finally, recovery, which I would say from 2016 to current days, following from the financial crisis, the real estate market has been sluggish for a few years, but it has recovered since then, as you can see on the graph on the right once again, and now presents major opportunities, especially in the business and luxury segments of real estate. Moving on to the real estate classification. Let's just, it's very difficult to look at the whole real estate market of Russia, but I believe it's better to focus just on the Moscow real estate segment. Moscow, of course, remains the main destination for investment into real estate in Russia from foreign investors, as Moscow has the largest variety of properties, both by types and by value, and it also leads the whole market in terms of number of transactions. It is actually sensible to look at the capital of Russia and the opportunities it presents. Generally speaking, by functionality, we can divide the real estate market in Moscow, the properties type, into the following: residential real estate, industrial buildings, and non-industrial buildings and premises, essentially commercial real estate, such as offices, for example, and warehouses. Now, let's have a quick look at the types of residential real estate in Moscow. Of course, residential real estate represents the largest opportunity set, while the demand for industrial buildings, non-industrial buildings, is slowly picking up after 2016. Nevertheless, let's divide the segment of the residential real estate in Moscow into several parts. The first one is the economy class properties. The commissioning of new apartments in Moscow in the past several years has been picking up, and at the moment, the volume supply is actually quite high. I would say a historical peak, in fact. But the trend of such apartment availability is shifting towards the south and southeast of Moscow, with the driver for this course being the development of new industrial zones where a number of businesses are located, but also the launch of the Moscow Central Circle, which is another metro line. Essentially, we have an inner circle line, but also now we have the outer circle line. And of course, that is pushing the demand for housing in that area, as it's very convenient. Second type of residential real estate in Moscow is business class properties. Of course, you can see the difference on the pictures. In the business class segment, competition between developers is actually very fierce. It's increasing significantly, and with several residential complexes actually being commissioned or already sold in the territories of industrial zones, as mentioned previously, and the volume of construction is very high. Also, differentiation increases, and high quality and constructed properties will retain their value, while unfinished or inconvenient properties in terms of both location but also style and design will become cheaper. And lastly, here I highlight the luxury or premium class properties. From the pictures, you can see, of course, the well-known Moscow city, with some of the apartments and condos there considered luxury class properties with the overview of the whole city, but also some of the private villas or mansions. In this type of real estate in Moscow, the differentiation of projects is even more pronounced. In fact, the price greatly depends on its level and degree of readiness of these apartments. Studio apartments perform better than market projections, as well as small-sized offers, the full cost of which is actually lower than that of similar variants of a larger area. So, for example, a two-bedroom studio versus a conventional two-bedroom of a larger area. Just some important point for foreign investors who would be interested. It is important actually to acknowledge that foreign individuals and companies have similar rights to Russian citizens and companies when it comes to actually purchasing and owning real estate in Russia. In fact, the only restrictions that there are for land acquisitions for foreigners are placed on land in frontier areas, agricultural land, and land on which seaport may be located. For the future developments, I highlight several points here. The large supply volume of modern housing in current or recently new buildings, as well as prices that have sunk over the crisis years, allow reorientation from outdated housing to new houses, as well as allowing for the choice of offers closer to the city center. For these reasons, the apartments in the center of Moscow and the modern houses in Moscow city area perform better than market projections. A number of opportunities in the Russian real estate market exist today, and as previously mentioned, they are accessible to both domestic and foreign investors likewise, who attempt to discover value in the market, which has been hit hard by the financial crisis of 2014-2016. Nevertheless, real estate, especially in the luxury segment, can be of great interest to potential buyers. Thank you very much.
If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below or contact us at the address indicated in the description of this video. Thank you very much.